Hello, good morning, everyone. Hmm. Welcome to the Thursday Morning Express Meditation. So, last time we met, um, we started looking at these faults, the uh, the faults of not meditating on death, and hmm, and what it kind of leads to. So there's a few more thought faults to contemplate. So we'll kind of come back to those and look at them. They're interesting concepts to contemplate. Um, and I don't know, maybe fault is not such a great word, but anyway, that's what the translation says. And um, because I always think the love room has to be inspiring. If it's not inspiring, then we're not going to do it. So, and I don't think it should be scary. So, it's not to terrify us. It's just to get us to shift our mind and change our behavior and change our habits for the good. So we start by bringing our mind inside, bringing our attention and our thoughts inward, and dropping anything we were doing before. Whatever we were doing before was in the past, and whatever's to come after our session is the future. So we just bring our mind into this present moment. And when we have our awareness in this present moment, we can transform anything. And we think about developing a pure motivation for our meditation. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche very often focused on developing a good heart, a warm heart, a heart full of love. And we can imagine that if we have a heart full of love, then we're open and we're accepting of everything and everyone around us without judgment. And I think that this is a really inspiring motivation because when we accept everything and everyone around us without any judgment, then we're at peace, we're relaxed, we're not pushing, we're not pulling, we're just at ease. And so with this motivation, we can meditate with ease. And we can meditate on these so-called faults of not meditating on death, just to show us the importance of when we meditate on death, what do we get? How does it benefit us? So, so I think the next fault is that even even if you practice the Dharma, the practice won't be pure. So as long as we remain attached to having um, things, having attachments like fame or wealth or uh, praise or pleasure, these are all attachments to this life. So if we have those in our Dharma practice, it's not completely pure. So it's kind of like imagining that we're doing uh, a Vajrayana retreat and we're all alone in the mountains. And because we involuntarily were looking for improved health, wealth, reputation that comes out of this retreat, and it's a result of retreat, then then our practice of the Dharma is virtually wasted because we're doing it for the wrong reasons. So, so what is this kind of dividing line that's between Dharma and non-Dharma? Maybe that's the question. So some would say that it's Dharma when it becomes an antidote to the delusions. Hmm. That sounds reasonable. And then it's not Dharma if it doesn't become an antidote. So that requires us to discern what is Dharma and how to practice it purely. And so this discernment, this is really critical. And it's it's a great disadvantage if we don't have this, which is a result of not remembering death, not remembering the impermanence aspect. So think about it in your day-to-day life. Can you relate to the fact of um, i- if in the middle of the day you recall impermanence and death, that this life is not eternal, and then you ask yourself the question, okay, how am I behaving today that's benefiting my future lives? How am I changing my mind and planting positive seeds right now for the future lives? Or maybe it's easier to say, are my actions right now for this life or for the next life. And then what about the persistence of our practice? So we're doing our, our daily mantras, or we're doing our prayers. We're keeping our vows. We're being kind to other people. We're not hurting anyone. We're not killing any insects or animals. So, so the practice is going good, right? We're checking all the boxes. And then during the day, do we recall impermanence? That everything is constantly changing. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. And the next day, we wake up, we do our prayers, and we say some mantras, and we try to hold our and keep our vows pure. But without recalling the impermanence, then this practice and this holding these vows and uh, reciting our prayers and remembering the Dharma, it starts to lack this persistence, because like with anything that we're doing, right? We do it every day. We develop the habit, and it goes on for a week, a month, maybe a few months, but then it starts to lose its energy, right? Like kind of fizzles out. We lose our inspiration. We we lose the plot. But if we can remember death and impermanence, then it helps bring us back. It brings the focus and the anchor back. It's kind of like boiling water. So to boil water, what do you have to do? You need to apply heat. And you need to apply that heat consistently and constantly until that water boils. If you keep turning it on and off, the water is not going to boil. It needs this persistent, continuous heat. So I think this mindfulness of death, then uh, it stops you from losing this energy. And then your Dharma practice, it becomes stronger, starts to boil. And then your Dharma practice has this intensity and continuity. And then your meditations, they progress smoothly. They're joyous. And then it almost becomes difficult to stop. And there's a bit of a story, a Tibetan proverb that kind of goes along with this persistence. And it's about um, a geshe Karab, Karagpa, Karagpa. And he was doing his meditation retreat in a cave. And just outside the cave, there's a rose bush. And every time he came out of the cave, every day, every session, he would walk by the rose bush and the thorn from the rose bush would scratch him. And he would think, I must prune that bush. That was his thought every time he walked by the, the rose bush. But he never did. He never pruned the bush because he didn't want to waste time away from his meditation practice. So that's the power of having this persistence that your practice becomes stronger, more intense, and you couldn't be bothered by any mundane activities. Even if it's a thorn bush that scratches you every time you enter and leave your home. And I think we all have that experience, right? Maybe not like the Geshe, um, but we have this experience of the joy created out of our Dharma practice. And then sometimes it fizzles out. We need uh, some inspiration. So we pick up a book, read a teaching, we get inspired again, and then we're off doing our practice and maintaining that boil, that desire for the Dharma practice. So it should be just as easy to contemplate impermanence. And we see it every day, you know. We see our friends and our family getting sick, some of them passing. We see the birthdays that come, the numbers keep getting larger. So we see the signs all around us. We just have to pay attention and simply remember them. Remember the impermanence aspect of every second and how that inspires us to, yes, practice the Dharma, uphold my my commitments, my vows, not to forget, just not to forget. And so we dedicate all the virtue that we created during this meditation, all the mm, positive energy, contemplating how to enrich our practice. And we dedicate that. May we always remember impermanence. May we always remember death. May it be, may this uh, remembrance of impermanence, death, be a cause for us to practice purely and be a cause that our practice ensures that no sentient beings suffer in future lives. May they cease their suffering in these lives currently, and all the suffering come to an end as quickly as possible. And that all of our teachers have good health, continue to teach, and allow the Buddha Dharma to flourish in all of space and time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.